Hey there, Union R11 staff members. This is Justin Tart. I just wanted to share some information about unwrapping standards. We really had a great day last Thursday, November 1st, and with the feedback that we've received through our survey, which we very much appreciate in talking to teachers, we really think that we need to continue that conversation about what it really means to unwrap and to unpack the standards. So here's a short little video that we've created to help and to assist with the documentation and the information that you've already been provided. So right now we're looking at the ELA packet that was handed out a couple Fridays ago. And more specifically, we are looking at page 39, Reading Standards for Informational Text 6 through 12. And more specifically, we're going to look at 7th grade ELA students. And we're going to go down to standard number 4. Standard number 4 says, determine the meaning of words and phrases as they are used in a text, including figurative, connotative, and technical meanings. Analyze the impact of a specific word choice on meaning and tone. And when we talk about unwrapping a standard, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about this is a standard and it needs to be broken down further. So you've all been provided another document that looks like this, Unwrapping a Standard. And the first thing that we would put in the standard box would be the standard. And then we'd go down a little bit further and we'd focus on the skills. And the skills are what students should be able to do. And that would be the verbs, the action pieces. So if we go back to our standards and it says determine, that is going to be one of our verbs. Another verb we're going to have is analyze. So those are the two verbs that are going to go in our box here. Students should be able to, in this verb area. And then we're also going to have the concepts. The concepts our students should know, and those are going to be our nouns. So if we go back to our document and we're looking for a noun, so we've got words, we've got phrases, we have text, we have figurative, connotative, technical meanings, we've got word choice, we have tone. So we've got specific pieces of content, nouns that students should be able to know. So after finishing up our nouns and our big concepts, we're going to go right into our big ideas. And the big ideas are going to be the transferable pieces of information and skills that are going to go across content areas. So if we go back to our standard and we look at what are the big ideas of this standard, and we really talk about words and phrases as a part of a text and ultimately determine the meaning of those words and phrases as a part of that text. We're going to take it to the next level and we're talking about analyzing and the individual word choices, the diction choices that are used within that text, being able to analyze that and determine the meaning and how that's going to affect the tone of the overall text. So the big ideas, like I said, are the transferable pieces of information that are going to go across content areas and really go deep into this individual standard. And the last piece that we're going to focus on is going to be our essential questions. And our essential questions are really going to be what help guide and to encourage further discussion for our students. And when you're talking about tone, you're talking about meaning and analyzing, this is really what's going to push our kids to a higher level of depth of knowledge, and it's going to continue that discussion as it relates to that individual standard. Essential questions are not going to be able to be answered with a simple yes or no response. Essential questions don't always have a right or a wrong answer, but they're really going to be used to help guide and to push the discussion further as it relates to that particular standard. Hopefully that provides you an example of what it means to really unwrap and unpack an English language arts standard. As we continue our migration toward the core academic standards, we will first need to unwrap the new standards before we can start aligning the new standards to our essential outcomes and our actual taught curriculum. Once we have the standards unwrapped and broken down into more manageable pieces, we will better be able to take what we are already doing and compare the two. I would encourage you to spend some time working with and unwrapping the new standards that are specific to your content area and grade level. For those of you who don't have specific new core academic standards, please take some time to compare your essential outcomes in your taught curriculum to the skills that are being emphasized in the other content areas. And lastly, I just want to reiterate the four main questions that we're going to be looking at when we talk about comparing the new core academic standards to what we're currently teaching and our essential outcomes. What you are already teaching that is tied to the core academic standards is the circle. What you are already teaching that is tied to the core academic standards but needs to be at a higher level of rigor is the triangle. What you are not teaching and needs to be added to your curriculum is the square, and what you are teaching and you don't need to be teaching is the X. So I hope this was very informative, and please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask either myself or any of the other administrators here in the district. Thank you and have a great day.